I have been talking about the DeFi markets for a while, right? With institutions about to flood in, institutional DeFi is, well, let's just be honest, it's ripe for massive amounts of money flooding in. And this is going to affect these networks in a very, very big way. And the XRP ledger is at the forefront of this. I do believe that the XRP ledger is going to be seeing a very significant amount of inflow from the institutional side. And then also institutional DeFi is just set to erupt massively on the XRP ledger as well. And I've been addressing this. I've been putting a spotlight on it because the last 12 months in 2024, for an example, have been nothing but major moves to solidify the XRP ledger as an absolute powerhouse around the institutional DeFi space. But let's actually talk about this. Let's actually address this, and let's talk about why the XRP ledger is going to be home for a massive amount of trillions of dollars, in my opinion. So with that being said, welcome to the channel, everyone. My name is Nick. For those that are new to the channel, hopefully by the end of this video, you do become a subscriber. So let's dive on in. Let's go back to this video that got dropped by Paul Bear Network, where he's interviewing Jazzy Cooper, actually, from the XRP, well, from Ripple, actually. And her focus is actually on DeFi around the XRP ledger. But check this out. We have XRP ledger developing in 2025. Big shout out to Riz XRP for this as well. Check it out.
Obviously, Jasmine, you're going to be involved. You're involved a lot in the DeFi side of things. This could get into a scenario where we've got a lot of situations in terms of liquidity, pairs coming, all that good stuff. Anything that has surprised you guys so far in what we've seen with just the activity, especially around RLUSD?
Yeah, no major surprises to date. Just as cash powers the majority of the financial system, you need it for settlement, you need it for payments, you need it for liquidity. Same goes for stablecoins in crypto and in DeFi. And so from a Ripple perspective, we're trying to power real value, real utility use cases like remittances, payments, et cetera, for financial institutions. And so we don't expect them to lower their bar in terms of quality, security, scalability when operating on XRP Ledger or within blockchain. So that's really why we brought RLUSD to the market and aim to have the highest level of standards in those areas. So not surprised by the volume and excited to see where it goes from here.
And yeah, I mean, listen, we should be very excited about what's about to happen on the XRP ledger through the institutional side of things, because even outside of the institutional side of things, we know how big the retail DeFi sector is. We know how massive it is. We know how successful it has been for Ethereum, for an example. I do think that on the XRP ledger, it's going to be a completely different story simply because of how efficient it is to transact and trade on the actual XRP ledger versus, for example, like Ethereum. But it's not just that, right? It's the connections that Ripple has. If we go over here, we also have a big announcement. Big shout out to Bank XRP for this. We have Ripple now supports XRP ledger tokenization, tokenize and manage assets on platform with access to the XRP ledger's DEX for trading. Custody key for digital assets, expected 16 trillion by 2030. And you know what's crazy about this? Everyone said that once we saw Ripple custody and Ripple payments that, oh, there goes XRP, there goes XRP ledger adoption, right? How comical. If we actually go over here, we have custody is a key entry point into the digital asset economy, and it will continue to grow significantly with the number of crypto assets custodied expected to reach at least 16 trillion by 2030. Big shout out to this individual, Reese Merrick, because he actually works at Ripple. Ripple Custody now supports XRP ledger tokenization features. Businesses can now tokenize and manage a wide range of assets, crypto, fiat, real world, on our platform while facilitating digital asset issuance and secure transfers directly from its platform. This integration also provides seamless access to the XRP ledger's native decentralized exchange, which allows for efficient low-fee trading of any tokenized asset. Remember what David Schwartz told us. It's not about tokenizing an asset. It's about what you can do with those tokenized assets. New features and functionality include AWS, this is Amazon Web Services, Cloud HSM. Ripple Custody is simplifying onboarding and deployment experience by providing customers the optionality to use HSM on a cloud provider of their choice, pre-configured operational and policy frameworks, deploy pre-configured Ripple custody operational and policy frameworks with added features to simplify selecting, deploying, maintaining, and using the Ripple custody platform. XRP Ledger integration. This allows for the integration of fungible XRP Ledger tokens, creating new opportunities for asset digital representation and unlocking liquidity. With support for the native DEX on the XRP Ledger, companies can seamlessly trade assets with minimal fees. Compliance integrations, new integration with Halving. By the way, remember the partnership that Ripple did have with Halving? It was all based around institutional DeFi for transaction screening services to help customers monitor transactions in real time, better assess risk, and make decisions based on defined risk policies to meet regulatory requirements and build trust. Ripple will support additional compliance services in the future. And then, of course, we have the improved UI and usability. We offer an updated and more intuitive UI to improve usability. Integrations with external identity providers allow users to log in via their preferred OAuth or OIDC based systems, providing greater flexibility and convenience for enterprise customers. They are making this as seamless as possible, as efficient as possible as well. Ripple is setting its sights on becoming a major driver and ultimately, a big winner around this $16 trillion market. They want to grasp a large portion of that. And remember that just the custody side of these, tokenized assets is expected to be $10 trillion. So if we're thinking about that, and if we're talking about the number behind the actual crypto assets being 16 trillion, just imagine how big the entire tokenization space is going to be with trading 24/7, 365. Then we also think about institutional DeFi services through these tokenized assets. I mean, this space is going to erupt over the next 10 years. And when I say the next 10 years, no, I don't mean that we have to wait 10 years. I'm saying that over the next 10 years, this space is only going to grow and grow and grow and grow and grow, which means XRP itself is going to be much larger and much more valuable. Yes, we don't have to wait 10 years. Yes, in the short term, we are going to see some major high targets for XRP, but in the long term, I do foresee XRP hitting $50 plus, potentially even hitting $100 plus if we're thinking about trillions and trillions of dollars flooding onto the XRP ledger, and Ripple is a facilitator of this. Now, also, remember the names tied back to Ripple. When we think about Ripple, and when we think about the, institutional side of things in the tokenized world, right? I've always said there's quadrillions of dollars out there to be tokenized. It's easy to get caught up in the T word, right? Trillions. But there is quadrillions when we think about derivatives, global real estate, equities markets. I mean, guys, the opportunity here is massive. But we actually have here from XRP drops, and this goes back to 2023. This is with Adrian Tresani, who was the previous CEO of Medico, the company that Ripple bought, which turned into Ripple Custody. We believe that this broad distribution of digital assets will end up with a few large banking institutions. Ripple Custody, HSBC, the largest bank in Europe and the world's 11th largest bank by market cap, chose Ripple Custody. Other monster banks will follow in 2025. Check it out.
This reconcentration of assets under custody in banking. We believe, and I think it's materializing right now, that this wide distribution that we have seen historically of digital assets being allocated across thousands and thousands of companies and millions of individuals will end up being statistically a lot allocated with a few large banking institutions.
And yeah, it's only going to be a few major winners here when we think about the tokenization space, but they are going to choose the major players that you need to focus on. I've always said this since day one. Ripple has been chosen. Ripple has been chosen for a while. And I keep saying this while everyone is, sitting around speculating on what's going to be happening. And, they're saying, oh, well, I don't know if Ripple's going to be around. I don't know if XRP is going to be around because of the SEC lawsuit. Like, people actually thought that the SEC lawsuit was going to kill Ripple and XRP. Think about how crazy that is. Fast forward to today, and all of a sudden you can't stop seeing Ripple everywhere. All of a sudden XRP is talked about everywhere as well. I mean, it's, to me personally, when we think about what's going on here, the entire landscape for crypto is shaping up to welcome in a tsunami of institutions. And when we think about the names tied back to Medico, which did turn into Ripple custody, remember the names. For an example, DZ Bank. Guys, DZ Bank was one of the key players that actually joined Medico. Here we have the announcement from February of 2023. DZ Bank, Germany's second largest partners with Medico for digital asset custody. This is Germany's second largest bank. Here we have a quote from them. Our requirements around security, scalability, and future-proofness of our digital asset custody initiative were highly complex, and Ripple Custody proved to be the only solution fit for purpose and able to support our target operating model. This is Germany's second largest bank saying this. With the offering we could build by leveraging this technology, we can create long-lasting competitive advantage. All right, well, guess what? If Germany's second largest bank is saying, hey, we can create long-lasting competitive advantage, all of their competitors are now saying, wait a second, they're onto something here. We have to do something. All of a sudden, the flood comes to Ripple. Hey, we want to use Ripple custody as well. We see DZ Banks doing it. This is how competition works. If you can't beat them, join them. They are going to see a massive influx of institutional players onto Ripple custody. And in fact, they already have. DekaBank selected Medico for digital asset custody back in January of 2023. This is also a German bank, one of the largest as well. It feels like the German institutional market has already moved over to Ripple custody, basically, because Medico turned into Ripple custody. We also have BCB Group moves custody of digital asset operations to Medico's platform. This happened back in April of 2024. Also, HSBC to launch digital asset custody for tokenized securities. This was a massive player, actually, and this got announced back in November of 2023. And this is, of course, with Medico. Also, BNP Paribas Security Services to develop digital assets custody capabilities through partnerships with Medico and Fireblocks back in July of 2022. And if you guys didn't, know already, if you go to the who we are in terms of BNP Paribas, you could see, that this is all based around securities. Remember that when we think about securities, the securities market is massive. BNP Paribas is the #1 European player, #5 worldwide. And look at the numbers here. $15 trillion worth of assets under custody. And they're choosing Medico for their custody solutions. 3 trillion assets under administration. So we're already at $18 trillion. Guys, focus on the big picture here. This is just one name. Then we also go and look at Duranty BBVA, which partnered up with IBM and Ripple for digital asset custody back in October of 2024. Now, they actually have 14,000 digital asset clients, nothing too crazy here. 12 million digital and 11.6 million mobile customers, which that's pretty significant. Now, we also have that BBVA owns around 86% of Duranty BBVA, and the group has been an early mover in digital assets. And what's crazy about this is just recently, on January 2nd, they announced that they are going to be providing crypto trading services in hint of things to come. So this is very interesting because this is also focused on European banks that will soon be offering crypto services to their customers in the EU. All of this is aligning perfectly with regulatory moves like MiCA, for an example. So when we think about what's happening here for institutional DeFi and how the XRP ledger is developing, it is becoming a welcome mat for the institutions, for enterprise players, and for trillions of dollars. XRP is not going to be cheap. This is why I say that retail will also be priced out in the long term. Focus on the target here. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on if you guys have more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.